After only 5 minutes of drilling, this battery died like someone flipped a switch. I put it back into the drill, pulled the trigger, and nothing happened. No sound, no movement. Most people would toss the pack aside and spend $50 or more on a new one. But I'm not ready to do that yet, because sometimes a tool battery is not truly dead. It may only be too low for the charger to recognize. So before this pack goes in the trash, I'm going to find out if it still has one more job left in it. First, I try plugging this battery pack into the charger. Looking closely, the indicator light does not work like it normally should. If this were a good battery, the charger should recognize it very clearly. To be more certain, I take another good battery and place it into the charger to test it. This time, the indicator light on the charger works normally. So the charger is still recognizing batteries. After that, I take this good battery and install it into the drill for another test. The drill runs right away. The problem is almost certainly inside the original battery. Now I use a multimeter to check this battery directly. Set the meter to DC voltage on the 50 volt range. Place the red probe on the positive terminal and the black probe on the negative terminal of the battery. Looking at the display, almost no voltage appears. This shows that the battery is not sending power out, or the internal circuit has been cut off. I will mark these two batteries so they are easy to tell apart during the comparison. The first thing I do is clean the entire area of the battery. Spray a little WD-40 onto a cleaning cloth. Then wipe carefully little by little, especially in the areas that look dull or dirty. This step is very simple, but sometimes it is exactly the reason the charger does not recognize the battery. Continue cleaning the battery pack's contact terminals more thoroughly. This time I use a small piece of sandpaper and spray a small amount of WD-40 onto the surface of the sandpaper. Do not spray it directly onto the battery. Then lightly sand each battery terminal to remove dirt and old oxidation. There is no need to sand too hard. Just clean the metal contact area properly. After cleaning, use a dry cloth to wipe the entire surface again. Once the two terminals look brighter and cleaner, the current has a better chance of flowing steadily in the next test. Now, I will try waking up this battery using another healthy battery. Here, I use two metal forks to create temporary contact points. This step must be done very carefully, because if the polarity is connected incorrectly, or a short circuit happens, the battery can heat up very quickly. Positive connects to positive. Negative connects to negative. Do not reverse the polarity, and do not hold the connection for too long. Next, I use a light bulb as a bridge to check whether current is passing through. And everyone look at this, the light bulb has turned on. Once I see that current has passed through, I remove the wires right away to avoid heating the battery or overloading it. Now we will check again with the multimeter to see whether this battery has voltage again. Place the probes on the correct terminals one more time. This time the needle has moved and voltage is starting to appear. Besides the method we just used, we can also try another way to boost this weak battery. Here I reuse two metal cores from a Finn coffee filter as temporary bridges between the two battery packs. After placing everything in the correct position, use the light bulb to check whether current is passing through. Everyone look at this. The light bulb has turned on. That shows current is flowing from the healthy battery into the weak battery. At this point, I will remove it right away to avoid overloading. We can also use another metal object, such as a utility knife blade, to create a temporary contact point. But this step requires even more care, because the blade can easily slip and cause a short circuit if it is placed incorrectly. Place it on the correct terminals, hold it firmly. Then use the light bulb to test again. If the light turns on, that means current has passed through. Now try putting the battery back into the charger. And this time the indicator light has turned on, which means the battery is no longer completely silent like it was at the beginning. Here I have a broken LED bulb, so I will test whether the battery we just saved is strong enough to help repair it. Before taking the bulb apart, make sure it has been completely disconnected from power. Looking closely at the LED board, we can see one LED chip with a black burn mark, and it looks completely different from the others. Just one damaged LED chip can make the entire bulb stop working. Next, use a small knife to gently pry out the burned LED chip. While I'm doing this, let me know one thing. Do you often repair things around the house? If you repair things often, comment number 1. If you do not repair things often, comment number 0. I'm very curious to see what everyone says. Now, I take a dead battery to reuse the core inside. Only do this with a dry battery that is not swollen, not leaking, and has no power left. Use a knife to gently pry open the outer casing. Work slowly, little by little, to avoid slipping. Once the casing is separated, there will be a conductive core inside that can be reused. This is the small detail I need to replace the burned LED chip. It may sound strange, but in DIY repair, sometimes something that looks like trash can become a very useful missing piece. After charging for a while, the battery now shows full. Remove the battery from the charger and install it back into the drill. And everyone look at this. The drill is working again. The motor sounds steady, and the rotation has good power, which proves this battery is still good. Now, let's go back to the burned LED bulb from earlier. I will install 2 washers onto the 2 terminals of the battery. These washers help create a wider, stronger contact point, so the wires do not slip while working. Then clip the 2 alligator clip wires onto the correct battery terminals. The other clip will attach to the battery core we prepared, creating a temporary mini soldering tool. Now, bring the battery core tip to the spot where the LED chip was burned and add a little solder to the contact point. Touch it quickly. Hold it just long enough for the solder to bond. And everyone look at this. The light bulb has turned on again. If this video helped you save a battery, a drill, or gave you another idea for repairing old things, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel right now. And leave a comment telling me what you want me to restore next. Who knows, your idea might appear in the next video.